Welcome to Bloodbath and Beyond. Today we review The Hills Run Red. Trespassers will be slaughtered.
Directed by Dave Parker, starring Sophie Monk, Tad Hilgenbrink, William Sadler, Janet Montgomery, and Alex Wyndham. The Hills Run Red is about a group of friends that want to go find a missing horror film.
His name is Babyface. His game is death.
They plan to make a documentary because this movie kind of vanished after 1 or 2 screenings. They end up finding a lead, which ends up bringing them to the house where The Hills Run Red, this mysterious movie, was filmed, and the legend of Babyface, this psycho killer, is a legend no more. This is actually a recommendation from our Big D, our top donator, Deke, over on Patreon. He recommended a few other films, and he said, this time I want you guys to check out a slasher. And he said, The Hills Run Red. So this has been recommended by a lot of people in the YouTube comments, but this is for you, Deke. So now let's get into our likes.
I liked Babyface. I thought he was a cool killer, he had an awesome look to him, and he had a really good backstory. The way that they developed him as a killer, I was interested, I wanted to learn more, I found out what I wanted to learn, and he killed people in a cool manner.
Yeah, I think his overall appearance is just awesome. I would put his mask in the top 10 of modern horror masks for sure, because it's just so damn creepy. Babyface is kind of he's a serial killer who's always in front of the camera, so he has to go over the top with his kills. And I think there is one kill that is just phenomenal where a girl just gets ripped in half, but there are some really great practical effects throughout this entire film.
Everybody is expendable for the good of the film.
I felt that Sophie Monk was the best actor in this film. I really enjoyed her character. I thought the way she delivered her lines, the way she played Alexa was perfect. I believed everything that she was doing, and she did look good doing it.
Yeah, and we get a lot of nudity. She's naked a lot of the movie, and it's you couldn't ask for more. It was great. Not only was she gorgeous, but I thought that the set pieces were excellent. Once we get to Babyface's house and we start to go around the farm, I thought all of the interior design and all of the set pieces were amazing. Even the costumes, everything felt really grungy, and you would not want to be stuck here with your friends, especially if you guys start getting hacked up. Now let's move on to our dislikes.
I think that this film focused on all of the wrong areas. There's a lot of potential for this concept, and we didn't really get into the killing and the intense moments until very late in the film. A lot of it was just the drama between the 3 characters.
Yeah, there's too much weight in a love triangle versus Babyface. He's in there a little bit, but you're gonna want him to kill a lot more, and unfortunately he doesn't. I also thought this was pretty predictable. There are a few twists in this movie, and once you guess things, it's just not very fun anymore because you're just waiting for things to fall in place. And it almost felt like a trope on itself because the whole movie has this kind of meta aspect. They're referencing horror movies, they're talking about a horror movie.
The characters always head out to the middle of nowhere, right? Suddenly their cars, their cell phones, their technology can't save them, and nobody ever brings a fucking gun.
Yet they have the same stupid tropes as a horror movie without being almost on purpose, which is weird.
The predictability really comes with their choice of editing, and I felt that this film had way too many flashbacks. And throwing in snippets of the movie that is within the movie, it just gives so much away. And it's not like the flashback just happens at the end of the film where it's in case you didn't get it. It happens 10 minutes in.
And part of the mystery is the fun of it. You know, you gotta just go. Who knows what you'll discover.
I won't spoil anything, but I thought the ending was also really lackluster. Not really exciting. I don't think anybody's gonna really care when the movie ends. They're just gonna say, okay, let's move on to the next movie.
It is just a filmmaker making a movie within a movie, and the concept can be done correctly. Just in this film, there isn't that focus on the character wanting to make the movie. Like, that's not the drive here. I know it's odd to say this, but like in Grave Encounters 2, they did the exact same thing. You hate the guy who put his friends in this situation. And in this film, you actually don't hate Tyler's character. You start to hate his friends more than anything because of the fact that they're cheating on him behind his back. But I shouldn't care about that in this film.
Yeah, it's like too much rolled into one. They didn't need the love triangle thing at all. Now it's time for our final thoughts and ratings. The Hills Run Red is one of those movies that has been on my watch list for a very long time. I think Babyface was a great killer, and I'd love to see more Babyface in the future. But I'd like to see him more as a slasher and just like the forefront of the story as opposed to some of the other drama that this movie had. Everything looked great, it felt grungy, and we had some great nudity. But I do think that the story just didn't really work. I understood what they were going for, but it just seemed like they focused on too many of the wrong aspects. It's not a bad movie by any means, but it's also pretty forgettable. So I'm gonna give this 2.5 barrels of blood out of 5.
This film was a bit of a disappointment for me. I was kind of excited to watch it just by the concept of this killer who looked awesome and the idea of them retracing a film. But they just focused way too much on the character development in a drama aspect that it didn't further their characters for me to like or hate them. And it didn't even give me the kind of kills that I was hoping for. I do really like Babyface as a killer, and I think if they decide to do a sequel or even a prequel to this series, it would be very interesting if they turn it into a slasher-only film. So with that being said, I'm gonna give this film 2 sneak attacks out of 5.
As always, thank you for watching. Like this video and comment below with your thoughts on the film if you've seen it. If you haven't and you do want to check it out, there are links in the description where you can find it. And this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe to the channel, stay updated with everything Bloodbath and beyond. And if you want to recommend a movie for us, check out the cool rewards we have over on Patreon.